Deborah was a young waitress at La Fontaine, a prestigious restaurant in Raleigh, North Carolina. Though she spent her nights balancing trays and serving customers, her true passion lay in music, specifically the piano. Since childhood, the piano had been her refuge, a place where she could express emotions words failed to capture. However, financial struggles forced her to put her dreams on hold, turning her talent into a secret known only to a few colleagues. One fateful evening, Leonard Grayson, a wealthy and arrogant entrepreneur, entered the restaurant with his entourage. Known for his sharp tongue and love of spectacle, he quickly set his sights on Deborah, turning her into the target of his amusement. With calculated cruelty, he challenged her to play the restaurant's grand piano, mocking her talent in front of an audience. At first hesitant, Deborah eventually accepted the challenge, determined not to let him belittle her. As she played a soulful rendition of Clair de Lune, the atmosphere in the restaurant shifted. The once noisy room fell silent, mesmerized by the depth of emotion in her performance. Even Leonard, who had been smugly watching, was left speechless. The applause that followed was thunderous, a stark contrast to the ridicule she had initially faced. Deborah had not only proven her talent, but also reclaimed her dignity. Her performance became the talk of the town, attracting the attention of a music producer from Nashville. Given the chance to record a demo, she realized that her dreams were no longer out of reach. Deborah's story serves as a powerful reminder that true talent cannot be diminished by arrogance, and that courage in the face of doubt can open unexpected doors. Deborah was a 25-year-old waitress working at La Fontaine, an upscale restaurant in Raleigh, North Carolina. Though she appeared to be just another server, she carried a passion far greater than her uniform suggested: music. From a young age, the piano had been her sanctuary, a place where she could escape life's struggles and express her deepest emotions. However, financial difficulties forced her to put her dream on hold. Instead of attending a prestigious music academy, she worked long shifts to make ends meet, keeping her talent hidden from most. One fateful evening, Leonard Grayson, a wealthy and arrogant entrepreneur, entered the restaurant with his entourage. He was known for his sharp tongue, love for attention, and tendency to belittle others for his own amusement. That night, his gaze landed on Deborah. Sensing an opportunity to entertain himself, he challenged her to play the grand piano in the corner of the restaurant, turning her into the subject of a cruel joke. Deborah hesitated, feeling the weight of the diner's judgment. When she tried to refuse, Leonard mocked her, suggesting she had no real talent. The words stung, but instead of backing down, Deborah decided to prove her worth, not to him, but to herself. As she sat at the piano, the restaurant fell into a tense silence. Her fingers trembled at first, but as she played Clair de Lune, the melody filled the air, weaving through the space like a confession of her struggles, dreams, and resilience. The diners, who had initially been mere spectators, became captivated by the sheer emotion in her performance. Even Leonard, once smug and condescending, found himself speechless. When the final note faded, the room erupted into applause, thunderous, heartfelt, and undeniable. Deborah had not only silenced her biggest skeptic, but had also reclaimed her identity as a musician. In the following days, word of her performance spread, reaching a music producer from Nashville who had been dining that night. He offered her an opportunity to record a demo, a step toward the dream she had long suppressed. More than just a victory over humiliation, the moment marked the beginning of a new chapter. Deborah's story is a testament to the power of resilience and authenticity. It serves as a reminder that true talent cannot be diminished by arrogance, and that those who dare to embrace their gifts will always find a way to shine, even in the most unexpected circumstances. Deborah was a waitress at La Fontaine, a prestigious restaurant in Raleigh, North Carolina. But beneath her quiet demeanor lay an extraordinary passion for music. Since childhood, the piano had been her refuge, a place where she could pour out her emotions in melodies. However, financial struggles forced her to put her dreams on hold. Though she longed to attend a music academy, she had to work long hours to support herself. Still, she never let go of her love for music, often sneaking moments to play on the restaurant's old upright piano during breaks. One evening, Leonard Grayson, a wealthy and arrogant entrepreneur, entered the restaurant with his entourage. Known for his sharp tongue and love of spectacle, he thrived on belittling others. That night he set his sights on Deborah, challenging her to play the grand piano in the corner of the restaurant. At first she hesitated, sensing the humiliation he was trying to impose. But when he mocked her hesitation, implying she had no real talent, something within her ignited. She wouldn't let his arrogance define her. Deborah took a deep breath and walked to the piano. The room fell silent as she placed her fingers on the keys. At first, the notes were soft and uncertain, but soon her confidence grew. She played Clair de Lune with such depth and emotion that the atmosphere in the restaurant changed. The diners, who had been watching with curiosity, now sat mesmerized. Even Leonard, who had orchestrated the moment to humiliate her, was left speechless. When the final note lingered in the air, the room erupted into applause. Some diners even stood, moved by the raw beauty of her performance. The impact of that night extended beyond the restaurant. Word of Deborah's performance spread, and a few days later, she received a call from a Nashville music producer who had witnessed her talent. He wasn't offering instant fame, but he gave her a chance to record a demo, a small but crucial step toward her long-held dream. That night at La Fontaine had been more than just a moment of triumph over humiliation. It was proof that she was meant for something greater. Deborah's story is a powerful reminder that true talent cannot be suppressed by doubt or arrogance. When faced with ridicule, she let her music speak for itself. In doing so, she not only silenced her critics, but also reignited the path to her dreams, proving that passion and resilience always find a way forward. Deborah had always been more than just a waitress at La Fontaine, an upscale restaurant in Raleigh, North Carolina. Behind her quiet demeanor and steady hands balancing trays lay a passion that burned brighter than the chandeliers above: her love for the piano. Since childhood, music had been her sanctuary, a way to express herself beyond words. However, financial struggles forced her to set her dreams aside. Working long shifts became a necessity, and the grand piano in the corner of the restaurant remained out of reach, a distant reminder of what she longed for. One evening, Leonard Grayson, a wealthy and arrogant entrepreneur, entered the restaurant with his entourage. Known for his sharp tongue and tendency to mock those he deemed beneath him, he quickly fixated on Deborah. With a smirk, he publicly challenged her to play the grand piano, turning her into the night's spectacle. At first, she hesitated, knowing his intention was not admiration, but humiliation. When he taunted her hesitation, questioning her talent, something inside her shifted. She refused to let his arrogance define her. Deborah walked toward the piano, feeling the weight of the room's collective gaze. As she placed her fingers on the keys, a hush fell over the restaurant. The first notes of Clair de Lune were soft, hesitant. But soon, her confidence grew, and the melody swelled, filling the space with raw emotion. The diners, who had initially been entertained by Leonard's antics, now sat in stunned silence. Even Leonard himself, who had orchestrated the moment as a cruel joke, was left speechless. The final note lingered in the air before thunderous applause erupted. Some diners even rose to their feet, moved by the unexpected beauty of her performance. That night marked a turning point. The next day, Deborah's performance became the talk of the town, and soon after, she received a call from a Nashville music producer who had been dining at La Fontaine that evening. He wasn't offering overnight fame, but he gave her an opportunity to record a demo, a step toward the dream she had nearly abandoned. For years, she had allowed doubt and financial hardships to hold her back, But that night proved something vital. No one, not even a man like Leonard Grayson, could diminish her talent. Deborah's story is a testament to the power of resilience. True talent doesn't need validation from the arrogant or the powerful. It simply needs the courage to be heard. Deborah had spent years hiding her true passion behind the responsibilities of daily life. As a waitress at La Fontaine, an upscale restaurant in Raleigh, North Carolina, she served guests with quiet grace, but deep inside, she longed for something more. Music had always been her escape, a language that expressed what words could not. Since childhood, the piano had been her sanctuary, but financial struggles forced her to put her dreams on hold. Still, she never let them fade entirely. One evening, the course of her life shifted when Leonard Grayson, a wealthy and arrogant entrepreneur, entered the restaurant. Known for his condescending attitude, he thrived on making others feel small. That night, he set his sights on Deborah. With a smirk, he challenged her to play the grand piano in the corner of the restaurant, turning her into the night's spectacle. She hesitated, sensing the humiliation he intended, but when he mocked her further, questioning her talent, something inside her refused to shrink. Instead of backing down, she walked toward the piano, determined to reclaim her voice. As her fingers touched the keys, the room fell silent. The soft, delicate notes of Clair de Lune filled the air, weaving emotion through every chord. The once chatty diners sat mesmerized, their conversations forgotten. Even Leonard, who had orchestrated this moment to humiliate her, found himself speechless. When the final note lingered in the air, the restaurant erupted into applause, loud, genuine, and filled with admiration. Deborah had not only silenced her biggest critic, but had proven to herself that she was more than just a waitress. She was an artist. In the days that followed, word of her performance spread. A few days later, she received an unexpected call from a Nashville music producer who had been dining that night. He wasn't offering immediate fame, but he extended something just as valuable, a chance to record a demo. It was a step forward, a door opening to possibilities she had almost given up on. That night at La Fontaine had been more than just a victory over humiliation. It was a realization that her dreams were still within reach. Deborah's story is a powerful reminder that true talent cannot be suppressed, and that courage in the face of doubt can open unexpected doors. The world is full of people like Leonard Grayson, but the real challenge is not letting them define your worth. Deborah's story is a powerful reminder that true worth is not determined by social status, wealth, or the opinions of others, but by the courage to embrace one's talents and passions. In life, we often encounter people like Leonard Grayson, those who belittle others to elevate themselves. However, true strength lies in standing firm, refusing to let doubt and arrogance dictate our path. For older generations, this lesson is especially meaningful. As we age, society may try to define our capabilities, suggesting that certain dreams or ambitions are no longer within reach. But Deborah's story proves otherwise. Passion and resilience do not have an expiration date. Whether it's music, art, learning, or contributing to the community, every individual has something valuable to offer. Her experience teaches us that dignity is not something others can take away. It is something we affirm through our actions. By staying true to who we are and using our gifts with confidence, we not only silence negativity, but also inspire those around us. Life is not about proving ourselves to skeptics. It is about fulfilling our own purpose, regardless of age or circumstance.